All right, well, I'm here.
Did I get everybody? I think so.
No, I think
got
so.
it.
Going to call to order council meeting, April 7th, 2026. We have 8 resolutions, 4 consents, and 3 ordinances introductions. Okay. Okay, we have resolution 165, adopting minutes from the last common council meeting. Any questions? Resolution, I should read from here. Resolution 2526-166, resolution authorizing agreement with Nextiva Inc. Alderwoman Collins. Oh, just in time. We're just talking about the Nextiva contract to provide telecommunication services for City Hall. Would you like to comment, Jeff?
Marvin took control of this and negotiated it. Our phone systems has sucked. The phones that we got were terrible. And so we are getting an upgraded phone. Hopefully it will resolve all of the issues that we've been having with a phone that was supposed to be a good phone. You know, in order to get the deal that he got, he had to agree to a 3-year contract, right, Louise? That's kind of what.
Yeah, there should be no upfront cost to the
No
city
upfront
there.
costs, better phones. The charge too went down a little bit, or
That
I believe I was gonna
I thought
ask
it was
Marvin.
level. It might have gone down a little bit.
a
It
little
wasn't,
bit, yeah.
the cost, ongoing cost wasn't changing a whole
Right.
lot. It was really more about renewing and getting.
Unfortunately, the phones that we had were very, very bad. They did not work the way they were promised to work, and
Yeah.
hopefully these will, resolve all those issues.
Yeah, they typically wouldn't replace them for free again this early, but because they hadn't been functioning ideally, they agreed to, if we renewed the contract for another 3 years, they're gonna replace all the phones for free.
Any other questions? Okay, resolution 2526-167, resolution authorizing $10,000 contribution to Habitat for Humanity of Montgomery County. Any questions?
I would like to say something though, if it's okay. When we look at this, when you think about the other charities in the city and everything that see this and that may request financial support or help, I want everybody to understand that what those financial institutions do and what Habitat for Humanity do are 2 totally different things. Habitat for Humanity is in the business of rebuilding homes, giving stable living, and, giving us tax revenue. It's building something up from something that was gone. And, like God Bless the Soup Kitchens, all those other places, but they're more of a human services type industry that puts health and that puts good feelings out into the community, but this actually brings homes into the community. That's an investment in city revenue. So that's all I have to say.
Yeah, great point, Chris, thank you.
But thank you for even considering it.
Okay, resolution 2526-169, resolution authorizing and awarding the 2026 concierge services at the Riverlink Park to Dan's Backyard.
You missed 168,
Wait a minute, you missed 168.
which is the
168.
transfer necessary to make
Oh.
the.
Okay, sorry about that. Resolution 2526-168, resolution 2025-26 budget transfer, Habitat for Humanity. Okay. Any questions? Any other questions? No? All right, resolution 2526-169, resolution authorizing and awarding the 2026 concierge services at the Riverland Park to Dan Beck's Backyard Barbecue LLC. Mr. Marcel?
There was one bid, and that was from Dan Nelly, and he put in his Now, this is a proposal, right, Mayor? This is a request for
He
proposal.
submitted a
He
request.
request for proposal, he was the only one that submitted a request for a proposal.
A proposal in response to the request for a
Right,
proposal.
so I overlooked it and I don't see a problem with it. He's been there before. And according to the contract, there are some clauses in there that will be strictly enforced, that he has to abide to. Okay?
Any other questions? Okay. Resolution 2526-170, resolution authorizing mayor to execute contract with the county of Montgomery for control of grass and brush on county highways.
Now, this is an annual contract that we have to put out with the Montgomery County. And what they do is one section of road, as you will see, it's 0.37 miles of along Sandy Drive over into the River Ridge. And they take care of that that part of the, because they do another part of the county, which is attached to this road, they do it all. So we just contract them out.
Thank
you. Okay.
Resolution 2526-171, resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a memorandum of agreement with the Amsterdam Professional Firefighters Local 2825 and extend the collective bargaining agreement.
Yeah, I had sent the council a pretty extensive explanation of how this evolved and where it came from. I've talked to a few of you about it. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. We also have Fire Chief Agreste here, so he can address any questions you may have of him directly.
Chief, do you want to comment on this?
Not unless anyone has a question at this time.
Any other questions?
We all read it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, council.
Resolution 2526-172, resolution approving the audit. The audit is fine. Any questions on the audit? Tonight, we're gonna move on to our consent. Resolution 2526-173, consent.
How did we do this? Huh? Didn't we just approve that?
There were 169
two
in this.
resolutions that were sent to me for, the one was sent, and then this was sent as a consent.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know why.
Are you talking about 173?
Yeah, 173 is a consent, but we
173.
just had.
First one was a-
169.
Yes.
I think that was the wording, and then this is with the contract.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
It's
We
authorized,
didn't have the contract with the.
Right.
Gotcha.
Mayor, this authorizes you to enter into a contract. now.
Sorry, I thought I see a double.
No, one was a proposal and this is a contract.
Okay,
Questions on this? Let's go.
Mr. Marcel?
The only thing, like I said before, we went out for proposals and Dan's backyard is the only one that submitted a proposal. So after reviewing the proposal and nothing's being changed, we entertained all the clauses in that proposal. So then the mayor went with Alderman, was it Rob or Tony? And Tony, they decided that they came up with these, certain factions that are gonna hold Dan's backyard accountable, and it's in the contract. And that's why we have a contract now.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, consent resolution 2526-174, resolution authorizing execution of Medicare Advantage renewal. Alderman Holliday.
All right, Luis, you want to take it away with some details on this?
Well, first of all, I apologize that this was being presented to you as a consent, but we needed to give our brokers as much time as possible to shop this around because the renewal rates were pretty terrifying. It was gonna be 34%, but they did come down 5% in the 11th hour. But yeah, there are a couple of, factors in play. The claims rate is pretty high for this population and Medicare funding cuts, along with all sorts of things that are happening in the medical realm right now are just, driving these costs up considerably. Unfortunately, this was a bargain compared to the other carriers that quoted us coverage. but
We
it
did
goes
have a
into
high-
effect,
Very high claims rate.
Yeah.
We did have a, very low there's not a lot of competition out there any longer. These people the big insurance companies are running away from this coverage. What we have left they're quoted higher than this. The Medicare reimbursement from the federal government, forget it. I mean, it's not, you know, when they talk about a tax break at the federal level, the reason they do a tax break at the federal level is because they push away this kind of funding. And when this funding doesn't increase with the costs, the local taxpayer pays it in that form of taxes. So it's just a very difficult situation. And it's scary. It's really scary what's happened to Medicare Advantage.
Any other comments?
I do. Louise, the whereas clause, the renewal contemplates 80 members participating in a custom medical advantage plan at an annual cost to the city of $152,890. Then there's another 89 members participating in a custom Medicare Advantage plan at an amount of $142. What's the difference?
there are two plans, they were negotiated in the contracts. They're just slightly, I think the deductibles are, yeah, it's the only real difference I do believe are the co-pays and the one plan versus the other,
No, Jimmy's right, those,
right?
I don't, the recitals are wrong, right? That's not what they typed. Hold on a second. Crazy there. The number should match, it should be, I'm sorry, it should be 81 for custom Medicare Advantage PPO 0PH at a total cost of $200,251. And the custom Medicare Advantage PPO 10PH is 90 members at an annual cost of $184,118. Now, what the heck happened? Because I typed this myself this morning,
This looks like it was last year's resolution
Yeah, no,
because the dates,
but I changed it from last year's resolution.
even the dates up above that say 25 to 26. I don't think anything's saved. when they
Nothing was
changed.
changed.
Hold on a second. Did the wrong resolution get it?
Yeah.
I did copy paste.
Because I did send last year's out when I sent this to you, just for reference,
Where was
so maybe it got grabbed by mistake, but yes, you're right, it is the wrong.
Good eyes, Mr. Marcel, good eyes.
I probably, so I'm sure, look, here's, it's
Well,
just-
only because she said it's a big increase.
We could have saved some money if you didn't say anything.
no, it's just as simple, guys.
I don't have any problems with
It's
it.
my apologies.
I also need to-
The resolution is prepared, so it's right here,
Uh-oh.
but I emailed to Stacy last year.
So do we need to make an amendment for the chief, for the actual?
No.
My apologies.
Email it to me, I'll go print it right now.
You know, for-
I can
Just
email
change the
it to
date
you
and
right now
numbers.
and you can print it.
Can we withdraw this resolution and then we put another resolution on, Irene? With the right numbers? Just withdraw the whole
We could
resolution.
just use this as an amended resolution.
It's consent anyway.
Do we need to withdraw? It's a consent. Can we just?
It says, for all intents and purposes, it's the same thing. You're amending it to read what's being printed out.
Okay, so.
I don't have a problem, whatever way you wanna do it.
I don't know how the heck I did this.
It's okay.
Worried about you.
Yeah.
So we'll just amend this one,
Do you want me to print some new ones?
yes.
Who are you sending it to? You send it like,
I'll send it to you, Clark, right now.
Thanks, Mike.
That's just admiring my abs on the camera. It's a keg, not a six pack.
That was your new
The,
haircut.
the attached sheet is correct.
No, the attached sheet is correct. I just emailed the wrong I emailed Stacy
The wrong resolution.
last year's resolution.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
So Jimmy, this is attached, that has.
okay.
So do we move on?
Yeah.
Or- Yes,
175.
okay. Resolution 2526-175, consent, resolution transferring funds for the sanitation truck to capital funds. Alderman Marcel.
Okay, what we're gonna do here, it's, I guess, the mayor, you wanna explain this, or, I can explain it.
Well,
It's self-explaining. what we're doing is we're going in the capital fund, and we're just going to pay for this over a period of time, right, Louise?
Well, it's just because we're not expecting the truck, we're not expected to take delivery until after June 30th.
Yeah.
So, but the purchase was authorized. This was already approved in the budget for the current year. We're just moving the funds to a capital project line just so that, there's no issue if it
Delivery
comes
date
in,
doesn't
after
matter.
July 1st.
That's all.
Because the auditors will move the transaction into the following year, so this is a way
But with the
to.
purchase of this truck, we'll now have 3 new
Right.
trucks. When I say new, relatively new garbage trucks, and we'll be in great shape.
Thank you. Resolution 2526-176 consent resolution, transfer funds for the HVAC replacement in the WWTP.
Yeah.
Holiday.
Wastewater treatment plant lost a piece of machinery there, like their AC boiler unit, so they're getting a new one. I would have thrown this to Mike Clark, but he's running a little errand for us right now, but he did deem it an emergency, so we're just gonna move some money around. That's all I know.
Okay, we're gonna move on to ordinances. Ordinance B of 2026 to be
You
known
gotta
as.
do A first.
Hey,
Ordinance A first.
Yes,
Okay. Ordinance A of 2026 to be known as Ordinance 1 of 2026 if adopted. This is an introduction. An ordinance modifying section 73-32A of the Amsterdam City Code pertaining to dog licenses.
No, we do have to schedule public hearings for all of the ordinances.
Okay. We're gonna schedule that now or we do it after?
Nope, we schedule them now.
Okay.
So it'll be on the 21st, but we have to figure out times, and we have 3 of them that day.
Okay, so April 27th? April 21st?
21st.
21st.
Okay, and how much time do you think we need for this?
5 minutes.
5 minutes?
5:40, 5:45.
5:40?
40, yep.
2 minutes.
And 5:45,
For the next one.
5:55, one after that.
And this would be. $5.50. Okay, so ordinance A will be scheduled for April 21st at 5:40. Okay. Then ordinance B of 2026 to be known as ordinance 2 of 2026 if adopted. This is an introduction. An ordinance modifying Amsterdam City Code section 228-48, schedule 14. Correct?
Yes.
No stopping south side of Northern Boulevard at Clisby Avenue. Alderman Holliday.
Tony, do we need to make an amendment
because that says
to
16.
change that schedule 16 to a 14?
Okay,
So we'll
Yeah,
change it before the meeting.
Yeah.
So-
Should be all set to vote.
change it at the meeting.
No,
No,
we
sorry.
changed it before the meeting,
Okay.
so we're
Sorry.
good.
We're good. Okay.
Yeah, so this is just addressing the visibility concerns on one side. And, you know, I guess I'll speak on the next ordinance as well. It's the other side of that strip, essentially, Clisby around the curve, near that Y, I guess you want to call it, off of Second, Sloan. And this takes it down to, let me see. Where did it really do this?
Shouldn't it be?
Oh, this is northern. Okay, this is the other side. Yeah, this is northern. So there's another visibility issue. Both are the same. One's off of, from Second to Devendorf essentially, and the other one is on Northern Boulevard, pretty much around the curve. If you've ever driven it, you guys know what I'm talking about. This is a recommendation from our chief. And Chief, did you want to have any comments on this?
This adds on to an existing code that we have, for the north side, and it goes to about 220 Northern Boulevard, which gets you up onto that hill. So it alleviates those concerns for the grade of the hill and the curve.
Sure, thank you.
Okay. This one is scheduled for April 21st at 5:45. Ordinance C of 2026 to be known as Ordinance 3 of 2026 if adopted. This is an introduction. An ordinance modifying Amsterdam City Code Section 228-47, Schedule 13, parking prohibited at all times, Plisby Avenue, both sides between 133 Plisby Ave and 2nd Street. Again, Alderman Holliday.
Yep, same thing. I accidentally mentioned that the first time, but it's the beginning of 2nd to Devendorf. Can't really see around that curve, and hopefully this will alleviate that. That's it.
All right, this is also scheduled for April 21st at 5:50.
But you can park from Devendorf to
To
Northern Boulevard.
the intersection.
No,
Let the
No.
chief explain.
Okay.
no. 133 is the property right behind, the bargain store, that building, that premises right where that garage was just purchased and it's partially knocked down. So starting at 133 there, to 2nd Street, there'll be no parking on either side.
Right.
But there's a section of sidewalk there from 133 to the corner where there's existing sidewalk. There
Yes.
will be two, possibly 3 spaces there.
And we are putting signs up, just because this isn't necessarily an ordinance, but we will be putting signs up at the intersection right there, correct?
They're already up.
15, they're already up,
They're already up,
15 feet on either side.
yes.
So you could go from 133 to the intersection sign there.
Mhm.
And then another section going towards Northern.
Yep.
Where the 15 feet start to the point where it's deemed
Yep.
poor visibility.
Signs are up over there too.
Great.
So this is basically a safety precaution we're doing for it, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, the congestion is, it's apparent, it's been brought to our attention, and it.
It's not gonna help the parking situation, but it's gonna help the safety situation.
Correct.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, then go back to this one, and then
So we're gonna go back to.
What are we doing now?
you need a number,
It's the same number, it's
The
just
same
need an
number?
amendment.
okay?
Should I read it now, or?
Yes.
Okay, so it's going to be 25, going back to the consent. 2526-174 consent. Resolution authorizing execution of Medicare Advantage renewal. And this is Holiday. Alderman Holiday. All right, so Louise, you want to continue?
Same thing, new numbers, right?
I mean, I would just say this, if I this, I suppose one of the accidental benefits of having the last year's resolution prepared and typed, and now seeing this one, if you have an opportunity to actually look at the numbers.
How scary the
You
increase
can
is.
see that these have been significant increases from last year to this year.
Sure.
That's all.
Okay, so the renewal contemplates 81 members participating in the custom Medicare Advantage PPO OPH plan at an annual cost to the city in the amount of $200,251, and 90 members participating in custom Medicare Advantage PPO 10 PH plan at a plan cost to the city in the amount of $184,118. Any other questions? So we're done with our resolution. Mayor?
We got 5 minutes until 6 o'clock, so the engineer would like to start your report, Mike?
Thank you.
going out of order, but Crescent Avenue Bridge. The concrete abutments have been, the new ones have been built, erection for the steel girders, all 5 of them. That is scheduled for, I believe it's next week. And I know the chief worked with the town, they're gonna have to stage them on Pioneer Street for an overnight run. They're gonna be on trailers. So that short section from there to the bottom of the hill is gonna be, they're gonna, take a lane or take the whole road? I don't remember.
1 lane.
It's just, and they'll erect them, set them the following day. But it's good progress. And again, the target for substantial completion is just after the 4th of July. So this one should not drag out all summer. Demolition has really progressed. All of the, I believe all 23 of the original base bid properties have been demolished. If you recall, we added 2 to the contract. One was Edson Street, debris pile from a previous knockdown, and another one is Second Ave. I believe the only one remaining to be done is Second Ave, and I think that the target for that is by the end of this week. After that, just clean up, probably some topsoil, seeding, grading, mulching, the whole 9 yards. Water breaks, yeah, they're still out there. We found a couple, and I believe there's more that we have not found yet, but we've knocked down our water consumption somewhat due to losses. And the street paving program for 2026. Now, you've got a spreadsheet in front of you. If you do what everybody would do, me included, and look at the bottom of the total, you'll notice that's about 150% of what our CHIPS funding is. What you have before you in this list isn't all the streets that we had proposed as alternates last year and did not get to, plus the streets that the council requested that I put on the list for this year. They are here. Suffice it to say, we're gonna have to do some whittling, I think, to get us down to that budget number. Our target that we intend to spend out of all the various CHIPS funds. So here's the thing, we're April 7th right now. I think everybody knows which streets were the ones that they requested on the list, right? Now that we've got this in front of us, my suggestion would be to take a look at this list again, your streets, and propose a priority, if you would. I mean, unless somebody's got a better idea, we need to get close to $2 million out of there. So we need to get ourselves down to around probably 2.3 would be my guess. So
I think, again, you say prioritize, they gotta be based upon, just like we do every year, traveling them and making a recommendation as to which one should go first. The ones that have been added, I know some of them are worse than some of the streets that were on last year's list, so I think they need to be reviewed, and, who better to do it, Mike, than you and Alyssa maybe.
Well, I'm happy to do it. I don't mind doing it at all. My recommendation would be based on, condition and traffic volume.
Exactly.
You kind of got to weigh those two together, right?
That's basically what we do every year, so.
Right.
No need to change, but there are a lot of streets on this list that need, that need attention, and not enough money to go around in terms of all of them, but let's see what we get when we do that.
Okay,
Will there be any, more work by National Grid for the gas lines on any of these streets?
That should be taken into account.
I mean, we'll go through that again. We met with them last month. All the streets that we had carried over from last year, they don't have work proposed.
Okay.
But I will tell you, that's not to say that there's not gonna be emergency work or anything of the sort, or,
But there are streets on this list that have already had National Grid work that have not been repaved yet by National Grid.
that's correct.
So we need to factor that into our thinking as we take the tour of the city,
Best that you can.
best that we can. Well, yeah, these are streets with scars on, you know?
We meet with National Grid a couple of times a year. It's not a perfect situation, but it's better than it ever has been, I'll tell you. And they lay out.
They've been doing it.
They're on their own schedule, that's
Yeah.
the thing, is they're on their own schedule, that's what it comes down to.
Well, what I've tried to do over the last 5 years is restrict them from replacing gas lines and streets that have been paved within the last 5 years. They've still done a couple of them, but what we've required of them when we issue a street opening permit is that rather than just paving the trench, they repave an entire lane. So
Right.
instead of just a 3-foot wide swath, a 12-foot lane, you know?
Right.
Just to try, maintain some rideability in the road, you know? I mean,
Okay.
they all go to pieces eventually.
Can we just stop? It's
I'm sorry, was I
6:02
talking too
already.
much?
Mayor, you have to stop.
I'm sorry, please stand for the pledge. Following the order, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Alderwoman Quistamars. Alderman Holliday.
Here.
Alderwoman Collins.
Here.
Alderman Carpenter.
Here.
Alderman Marticello.
Here,
Okay. Motion to adopt the agenda?
Someone call the roll. Motion to adopt the agenda. Call the roll.
No, with
Ordinance.
With four consents.
8 resolutions, 4 consents, and 3 ordinance introductions.
Alderwoman Collins.
Aye.
Alderman Carpenter.
Aye.
Alderman Marticello.
Aye.
Alderman Holliday.
Aye.
Okay, we have no proclamations this evening, no communications or presentations to present, so we are on to the public participation section of our meeting. Anyone who'd like to address the council, you have a 5-minute time limit to do so. Please state your name and address when you come to the podium.
Okay, thank you. Hi, my name is Roberto Mars, 16 Elwood Street, and I'm here to talk about the golf course. I went to a golf course meeting 3 weeks ago, tomorrow, and I presented I listened to the meeting, just like with the city, there's always expenses, always need to spend money on it. And years ago, we had mentioned nobody does any marketing, we don't know how to do marketing for the course. Well, I presented them with a proposal. It's like a coupon. It's from a company called Group Golfer, where they send out for the whole state of New York, and they would feature just our course that week, those 2 days, 48 hours, they would feature our course. So everyone in the state who gets the emails, the only thing that they see for a coupon for a promotion would be Amsterdam Union. And so after 48 hours, you're unable to buy these coupons and the vouchers. And the vouchers, the golf course can put a time limit on them. They're only good till, say, end of September or even the end of the season. But once they're done, they're done. So if they don't redeem them, and I've talked to the company, and 20 to 30% of all the vouchers that are sold are never redeemed, kind of like a Groupon. People buy these things in advance and then never end up having to use them. So the city gets all that money. I presented to the golf commission, and I haven't heard anything back from them. I'm gonna go over to there's 2 courses in the area. I'm gonna give you an example. Saratoga Lake course, in the beginning of March, they were featured. They sold 1,678 vouchers at $32 each. Saratoga's, they sold $53,906 of the vouchers. Saratoga Lake, the course gets 75% of the revenue. The company that does all the work with the email, we don't do anything. You say, can you do it? they get 25%. Saratoga Lake got $40,272 by selling those vouchers. Another course was the Old Post Road course. It used to be called the Evergreen course. It's just outside East Greenbush in Rensselaer County. They sold 2,201 vouchers at $35 a piece, and the Old Post Road share was $57,776. And again, 20% of those don't get used. If 20% of those don't get used, that kind of offsets the 25% that we're not getting that they get. So it's kind of a little bit almost like a wash. I'm proposing this because we have like a 4,000 to 5,000 email list that we send out for our promotions. These, I've talked to the company, these get 80 to 100,000 hits every day they're on in their email, that people open up the email and read it. Not just the email, 80,000 or 100,000 emails. That's how many people open the email and read it and look into it. So with the new clubhouse, and we want to promote the course, and one of the things is we get to restrict when they're used. They're not going to be used on weekends and holidays, not to the busy times. They're basically going to be used only during Monday through Friday and on weekends and holidays after 12 p.m. at the lower rate price. And it's a good avenue to bring people in from the capital district that think Amsterdam is kind of a little far away. We give them an incentive to come here. They're going to come. They're going to see the course. They're going to see the new clubhouse. And they're going to see what a fantastic course it is. And they're going to come back and pay full price. We're not going to get a lot of members out of that. But what we're going to get is people come here 2-3 times a year that don't come here now. And it's something that, especially with the new clubhouse that we're featuring, we haven't had one for a while, to let people know, okay, now you can come here, you get full service clubhouse, get what you want, get the beautiful view. I think it's worth a shot. These courses, they do it every single year. The last 3 years I've been tracking them. I have the emails to show me they do it, and they're doing it for a reason, because they're making good money on it. It's something that, again, it's something to look into. It's something that we should do, and it's going to bring new eyeballs to the course into the city. So people come here and they say, hey, Amsterdam's not what maybe they hear Amsterdam is, and they see a great proposal. I mean, they see an incentive to come here. So I come to you because I want you to see if you can maybe, give a little push to the golf commission and say, hey, maybe this is something we can look into. I've been asking for 3 years to try to get this done. And every year I get being told, no, we don't want to discount the price. You got to promote somehow. And if it gets new eyeballs on here, it's a win-win for everybody. And that's why I came here to, propose this. So I just hope you maybe look into it. Any questions, get a hold of me. Kelly's got the email of all this stuff. I can give you paper copies of all the details to each one of you if you want it. And any other questions, you can contact me, whatever. But it's something that I'm proposing bringing in revenue, and no one seems to want to listen. And it's a little frustrating. And another part of bringing in revenue, the golf course is supposed to open up next Monday. I don't know if anybody's looked at the weather, but the weather for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is going to be tremendous. Courses are open up in this whole area this week. People are going to golf this weekend, and they're going to golf somewhere. If we're not open, all that money is going to go other places. If we're not open Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and I talked to the superintendent yesterday, and he says there's no reason he can't open. There's nothing course-wise that would stop it from being open. I don't know about Joe and the Pro Shop, but you hate to lose a weekend. There's only X amount of weekends in a season. And the first weekend of the year, when you got good weather on top of that, the place is going to be mild. And if we're not open, these people will spend money somewhere else. So if that's something else, you could say, hey, can we maybe move up that opening date to Friday or Thursday, but at least Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And, we could lose $10,000 this weekend by not being open. Okay? That's all I got to say.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, Terry Bertucci, here with my daughter, Christy, KOV Properties. Mayor, council members, police chief, fire chief, Mr. Clark. We applaud the efforts going forward for the traffic problem up there. This is great. This is a good step. What I would like to see also, if could be, is when you come off the bridge, there's a little grass parking lot right there. you cannot see coming out of her parking lot when the cars are coming around that corner. You can't. Her and I talk about it all the time, and when I left Saturday, I was the guy that almost got hit. So, I'm pretty careful. So if you could add that maybe in somehow, some way, I mean, they only put 6 vehicles in there. Some of them are backed in, some of them drive in. The ones that drive in, they back out into that 4-corner area, that three corners, whatever it is. But if you could somehow restrict that would really do a lot.
So Jerry, are you talking about the side that's right next to your parking lot?
Yeah,
Between the parking lot and the bridge?
yes.
They park right
A
in
little
that-
grass area, you can't, if there's some small cars in there, it's one thing, but there's a lot of guys who know better when they come with their trucks. Some of them will back in, which is smart, right, because they can see going out. But still, the people coming across that bridge, they can't see anybody coming out of our lot, my daughter's lot. They just can't. But I do have a question. On Northern Boulevard, what does that mean, no stopping? What is?
Chief,
That's what the first ordinance says, no stopping. So no stopping also means they might pull up there and let someone out. And if they're still in their car, they're not, and the car's running, they're not exactly parked, they're stopping. So it's no stopping, no parking.
No idling.
No idea.
Mhm.
Someone just running in quick, no.
We're loading something up.
Right. Well, yeah, they come in her lot to bring everything across the street and fill up their cars or whatever. But no, that's all I had to say. I appreciate your efforts. Thank you for the time.
Christy, KLV Properties. I want to kind of follow up with that and say thank you, Chief. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Rich, and everybody else that talked about this or whoever grouped up together to try to get something done. This is the most support I've ever had in the 7 years that I've been there. And goddamn, it felt good to have people on my side, especially the city, supporting me and supporting us in our efforts. So I really want to say thank you guys for that. I really do appreciate that. You have no idea. I do want to, aside from that, because now with Pagel's property right there, that piece of grass, I don't know what he's got set up with Brent. I have no idea. But now with the foliage coming in, especially now that spring and summer, you definitely cannot even look over the bridge to be able to tell if anybody's even coming down to kind of gauge. I guess, and I don't want to push it too far here. I'm trying to say this respectfully to him. I support everybody in their small business. I literally will do anything for anybody with their small business. We know how hard it is to be a small business in this city. It's extremely difficult, and not just because it's the city of Amsterdam, but just in general in this society. He's outgrown that space, we know that. I guess I'm coming to you guys for either brainstorming or something and how we can get him or the owner of the building, I guess, to take on the accountability and responsibility that unfortunately has been put on me by him. His business model, albeit it's a great one and he's being very successful and that's amazing. I unfortunately have to take the brunt of the responsibility, the negative consequences, the repercussions. Just the other day on Saturday, it's crazy to me. A mother and her son, which I have pictures, I printed it and I forgot it, sat in a parking space in my property down on the ground. And seeing as we have cones, I don't know if anybody's familiar, but I have an open entrance and exit to get into the parking lot now. One of my tenants' customers came in a Jeep, had no idea that they were sitting there, and they were what a bargain customers, and almost wiped them out. They were this close, and I think the kid was 3, maybe 4. So they're using now that you guys are doing you put those 2 signs, which are amazing for the corner. They're now using my parking lot to come in, drop off, come in, pick up, bring the carts over, unload. Oh, I didn't know. And we're still having to sit there and play traffic control. After our last meeting on that weekend, Brent did hire somebody to actually play traffic control. I knew he was just doing it to shut me up. And that kid, whoever he was, I think his name is Luis or whatever, he did amazing. He was literally directing people where to go, where not to go. And by the end of it, he came over to me. I thanked him. And he said, "This is crazy." He goes, and now he hasn't been back since. So there's no traffic control. And I truthfully believe it's because he does not, excuse my French, he does not give a shit. It's only about what's in the store being sold, not about what's happening outside. He has security for inside, but they do nothing on the outside. And I just know that me personally, if I was like that and my business or my tenants were putting out those type of consequences or causing anybody else a loss of business, I would feel awful. I would feel absolutely awful. And I would feel like I would have to do something in order to help that area. Todd and I are suffering. I know he's not here because he has to work, but he has not sold any more pizza. He has not, people come in there just to buy a soda just so they can go use the restroom. And then the last thing is the bathrooms. I know there's no law. I know you can't force anybody with a retail space in New York State to be able to have their customers use their own restroom. I understand that. Employees, yes. My things with that is they're all coming to me still. And seeing as Terry and I are not assholes, I swear to God we're not. There was a pregnant woman that came the other day and she had a coat on. She was standing in line for 4 hours. She came to the door. We had no idea she was pregnant. We told her, "You can't use the restroom here. It's got to be across the street." She said, "But I'm pregnant. He won't let me use the bathroom, blah, 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 blah." We let her use the restroom. Everybody else sees that. Now we got to stand at the doors and say, "No, you cannot come over here to use our restrooms." So I don't know. That's why I guess I'm coming to you guys. I don't know. I mean, I know that sounds so stupid. But let me tell you, when I'm cleaning up their fecal matter all over my bathrooms because they're mad they couldn't park there, it's not too fun. So I guess I'm just coming to you guys. Accountability, responsibility. I don't know how we put that back on him or the owner of the actual building. I appreciate the safety. I'm hoping that's going to help immensely. But unless enforcing it, if the cops are not there enforcing it with not parking there, and then therefore nobody's directing those people that can no longer park there somewhere else, then it's going to be, they're all going to be flooding like ants into my lot again. So like I said, I don't even have a resolution because I don't know where to go next. So I'm hoping we can have another conversation or maybe throw out options, but that would be amazing. So thank you once again for everybody that tried to, and thank you so much for introducing that. And I appreciate everybody's time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone else in the public? So we're on to, Mike, you're all done with the engineering report, or?
I was just gonna conclude by saying, we're gonna take another look at all these every street on this list. And what I wanna do is, by the end of this week, share my recommendations for paring it down with.
Council, you have no trouble with that, right? Okay.
All right, good.
And no old business, right, Stacy?
No.
Mike, can I ask something? Question. Anthony, can we amend ordinance B to include that section by the bridge? Or does it have to be another introduction?
Whose
Can't
property is it?
introduce it tonight.
Before you do that, whose property is it?
Bagels.
Who?
John Page.
Johnny Papers, isn't
Well,
it?
then, that's
Vegas
private property.
That corner, that little
I
corner?
think, I'm not
Front
sure.
of the front.
Private property.
Right.
Yeah, but you could do something for parking on the street is the limit, but it is privately owned by John Pagels, the guy who owns the property behind LLB.
Yeah.
Tech Center.
Okay, thank you.
You'd have to, it has to be in its final form 9 or 10 days, I can't remember which, 9 or 10 days prior to the public hearing.
Okay.
So that's what we would have to do.
Okay, so we're on to the resolution, Stacy?
Resolution number 2526-165, resolution adopting minutes from last common council meeting by Alderwoman Collins.
So moved. Any questions? Call the roll.
Alderwoman Collins.
Aye.
Alderman Carpenter. Alderman Marticello.
Right,
Alderman Holliday.
Aye.
Resolution number 2526-166, resolution authorizing agreement with the Nextiva Inc. by Alderwoman Collins. Whereas in 2023, the city of Amsterdam entered into a contract with Nextiva Inc. to provide telecommunication services at City Hall for the city of Amsterdam. Said contract covering an initial period of 42 months from the date of October 18th, 2023, and is set to expire on April 18th, 2026. And
You go down to the last two whereas, and then it was all.
whereas Nextiva has agreed to provide 67 new phones and to lock in a reduced rate of $13.95 per line of service, provided that the city agrees to extend the term of the contract for an additional 36-month term commencing April 18th, 2026. And whereas a copy of the proposed contract being attached hereto is hereby resolved, the attached contract with and agreement with Nextiva Inc. is hereby authorized.
So moved. Any questions? Call the roll.
Alderwoman Collins.
Aye.
Alderman Carpenter.
Aye.
Alderman Marticello.
right,
Alderman Holliday.
Aye.
Resolution number 2526-167, resolution authorizing $10,000 contribution to Habitat for Humanity of Montgomery County, New York by Alderwoman Collins. Whereas Habitat for Humanity of Montgomery County, New York has been instrumental in the city of Amsterdam in producing safe, stable, and affordable housing for income-qualified residents of our city. With each new house, the organization builds and sells to provide individuals being restored and/or added to the city tax roll, generating substantial property tax and user fee revenues for the city. And whereas the city of Amsterdam is desirous to support the endeavors of Habitat for Humanity of Montgomery County, New York, by way of making a financial contribution to the organization for the purpose of acquiring a new trailer to be used for hauling tools and supplies at the various locations rehabilitated by their organization. Now therefore be it hereby resolved that a financial contribution in the amount of $10,000 to Habitat for Humanity in Montgomery County, New York is hereby authorized.
So moved. Any questions? Call the roll.
Alderwoman Collins.
Aye.
Alderman Carpenter.
I am a member of the board of directors and I will be abstaining from that vote.
Alderman Marticello.
aye,
Alderman Holliday.
Aye.
Resolution number 2526-168, resolution 2025-26 budget transfer Habitat for Humanity by Alderwoman Collins.
Okay, just go down to the now therefore.
Now therefore be it resolved that the controller is authorized to amend the 2025-26 fiscal year budget as follows. Decrease expense judgments, $10,000. Increase expense, mayor's contractual expenses, $10,000.
So moved. Any questions? Call the roll.
Alderwoman Collins.
Aye.
Alderman Carpenter.
I'll be abstaining as well.
Alderman Marticello.
aye,
Alderman Holliday.
Aye.
Resolution number 2526-169, resolution authorizing and awarding 2026 concessionaire services at Riverlink Park to Dan's Backyard Barbecue LLC by Alderman Marticello.
so moved, this reading, and now therefore be resolved, clause.
Now therefore be it resolved that the award for the 2026 concessionaire services at Riverlink Park to Dan's Backyard Barbecue LLC is hereby authorized.
Call the roll.
Alderman Marticello.
Aye,
Alderman Holliday.
Aye.
Alderwoman Collins.
Aye.
Alderman Carpenter.
Aye.
Resolution number 2526-170, resolution authorizing mayor to execute contract with County of Montgomery for control of grass and brush on county highways by Alderman Marticello.
So moved. And just read the second whereas clause, please.
Whereas more specifically, the subject contract pertains 0.37 miles along Sandy Drive, wherein the city will pay a rate of $148 per clearing.
So moved. Question. Call the roll.
Alderman Marticello.
Aye.
Alderman Holliday.
Aye.
Alderwoman Collins.
Aye.
Alderman Carpenter.
Aye.
Resolution number 2526-171, resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a memorandum of agreement with the Amsterdam Professional Firefighters Local 2825 and extend the collective bargaining agreement by Alderwoman Collins.
So moved. Any questions? Okay, so we're gonna go down to, the now therefore be it resolved.
Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Common Council of the City of Amsterdam hereby authorizes the mayor to execute a memorandum of agreement with the Amsterdam Professional Firefighters Local 2825, extending the current collective bargaining agreement for the period of July 1st, 2026 through June 30th of 2029. You want me to read the rest of them, or you want me to?
Yeah,
Okay.
read the last one.
And be it further resolved that said MOA shall include provisions permitting to the city to hire non-firefighter paramedics and/or EMTs to support emergency medical service operations through June 30th, 2029. And be it further resolved that upon expiration of the agreement, such position shall be discontinued unless the city and the union mutually agree to continue or modify such arrangement. And be it further resolved that the mayor is authorized to take any and all actions necessary to effectuate the terms of this resolution and the MOA.
I just want to thank Fire Chief Agresta. We've been at this a long time. It took a while to put this together, and I think it's going to be something that's good for our city, and I appreciate all the work you put into it as well.
I just have a question.
Yes, sir.
Is it attached memorandum of agreement, or should we come to the clerk's office to look at it, or it's here?
Your memorandum of agreement,
Yeah.
it's right there. It should be.
When I sent them out, I asked them if they needed a copy to let me
Oh,
know,
okay.
because it was,
No, yeah, you're right.
a
It's in
lot.
my box.
Yep.
Thank you. You're right. It's my box. Thank you, Mayor.
You scared me, Jim.
I know. Thank you. I read it in advance. I'm sorry. Call the roll.
Alderman Collins.
Aye.
I'm sorry, Alderwoman Collins. Alderman Carpenter.
Aye.
Alderman Marticello.
Aye.
Alderman Holliday.
Aye.
Resolution 2526-172, resolution approving audit by Alderwoman Collins.
So moved. Any questions? Call the roll.
Alderwoman Collins.
Aye.
Alderman Carpenter.
Aye.
Alderman Marticello.
Aye.
Alderman Holliday.
Aye.
Resolution number 2526-173, consent. Resolution authorizing contract with Dan's Backyard Barbecue LLC in connection with the concessionaire services at Riverlink Park by Alderman Marticello.
So moved. Are there any discussions? Thank you. Call the roll.
Alderman Marticello.
Aye.
Alderman Holliday.
Aye.
Alderwoman Collins.
Aye.
Alderman Carpenter. Resolution 2526-174, consent by Alderman Holliday. Resolution authorizing execution of Medicare Advantage renewal. Whereas the city currently provides Medicare Advantage benefits through Anthem, and whereas upon recommendation by the city's health insurance broker Gallagher Benefit Services, Inc., and upon recommendation by the city controller, the city of Amsterdam being desirous to enter into a renewal of services with Anthem for the period covering June 1st, 2026 through May 30th of 2027. And whereas the renewal contemplates 81 members participating in the custom Medicare Advantage PPO 0PH plan at an annual cost to the city in the amount of $200,251, and 90 members participating in the custom Medicare Advantage PPO 10PH plan at an annual cost to the city in the amount of $184,118. And whereas a copy of the subject renewal document being attached hereto, now therefore be it resolved that the mayor is authorized to execute the attached renewal with Anthem.
So moved. Any questions, comments? Call the roll, please.
Alderman Holliday.
Aye.
Alderwoman Collins.
Aye.
Alderman Carpenter.
Aye.
Alderman Marticello.
Aye.
Resolution number 2526-175, consent. Resolution transferring funds for sanitation truck to capital fund by Alderman Marticello. Whereas the city approved the purchase of a new sanitation truck in the 2025-26 operating budget. Whereas the full cost of the truck package is $215,001. Whereas the city is not expected to take delivery of this truck before the end of the current fiscal year, so this funding will be transferred out of the sanitation fund and put into the capital fund.
So moved. Any discussion?
Didn't get anybody throwing that down?
Hey. It's grocery, blame it on the groceries.
Call the roll.
Okay, Alderman Marticello.
Aye.
Alderman Holliday.
Aye.
Alderwoman Collins.
Aye.
Alderman Carpenter. Resolution number 2526-176, consent. Resolution transfer funds for HVAC replacement at the wastewater treatment plant by Alderman Holliday. Whereas the administration building wastewater treatment plant has an air handler, air conditioning, and boiler system from the original construction. And whereas the current air handler had failed and caused the loss of air circulation for the building. And whereas the city engineer deemed this an emergency, and whereas Advanced Mechanical was contacted and a new rooftop unit that can handle heating and cooling was proposed for a price of $70,000.
So moved. Any questions?
Mike, this wasn't gonna be part of the project, and we had to do it. Is that how this worked?
We weren't gonna use this equipment as part of the project. We were gonna replace the existing boiler that's there now.
Okay,
The good thing is that we're probably, compared to a steam boiler, the rooftop unit is about 50% of the cost. So you're gonna incorporate it into the project. We're gonna do it now in lieu of that, and that money may not need to be spent in the project. Rather than install a new steam boiler system for the.
Cool. Call the roll, please.
Alderman Holliday.
Aye.
Alderwoman Collins.
Aye.
Alderman Carpenter.
Aye.
Alderman Marticello.
Aye.
Ordinance A of 2026 to be known as Ordinance 1 of 2026 if adopted, introduction. An ordinance modifying section 73-32A of the Amsterdam City Code pertaining to dog licensing fees by Alderwoman Collins.
So
We'll have a public hearing on this on April 21st at 5:40 PM. So we don't call a roll on this. Ordinance B of 2026 to be known as Ordinance number 2 of 2026 of adopted, introduction. An ordinance modifying Amsterdam City Code section 228-48, Schedule 14, no stopping, south side of Northern Boulevard at Clisby Avenue by Alderman Holliday.
All right. Cool. What time's that again, Stace?
Our public hearing for this one will be at 5:45 on April 21st.
Okay. Thank you. Bless.
Ordinance C of 2026 to be known as Ordinance number 3 of 2026 if adopted, introduction. An ordinance modifying Amsterdam City Code section 228-47, set Schedule 13, parking prohibited at all times, Clisby Avenue, both sides between 133 Clisby Ave and 2nd Street by Alderman Holliday.
Cool. And that's it.
Public hearing for this one will be on April 21st at 5:50 PM.
Sounds good. Thank you.
No. That's it. I want to thank the council because we threw a lot at you tonight. We really appreciate your engagement in that. We do have, coming up this Saturday, we have the Wing Fest, we have the city cleanup sponsored by Mr. Patel's Century 21 Realty, which is always a great event. So we hope to see everybody there. And then after that, we have the Wing Fest. So
This weekend or next weekend?
Build up
Is it city cleanup this week?
No,
Not this week.
no, next week. But we're not meeting again before then, so. What is it, August 15th, right? 18th. See, don't listen to me.
April.
April 15th.
Yeah.
Don't wait till August to clean up. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, did I blow that? April 15th.
18th. April
18th, this,
April 15th, tax.
not this Saturday, but next Saturday, we're gonna have a cleanup sponsored by Mr. Patel. And then we're gonna have a wing fest with all of the great wing makers of our city. It's the greatest day of the year when it comes to doing something good and eating something good. So I hope everybody can show up for that. And thank you, everybody, appreciate it.
Motion to adjourn. All right. Alderwoman Collins. Aye. Alderman Carpenter.
Aye.
Alderman Marticello.
Aye.
Alderman Holliday.
Take care.
Chief,
Someone there, like, you know,
Chief.